The moment she said those words, "I need a boyfriend to meet my parents this weekend," I felt my entire world tilt, not because of the request, but because of the way she looked at me afterward, like she had already decided I was the only person she trusted enough to ask. And before my brain could catch up, I heard myself answer, "Not sleeping on the sofa, right?" Her eyes widened, a small nervous smile formed, and that's when everything changed, because neither of us realized how one impulsive agreement would unravel secrets, fears, and feelings we had both buried for far too long. I met Alina 2 years ago on a rainy afternoon when her umbrella flipped inside out, and she stood in the middle of the street laughing at her own bad luck. Something about her energy had always felt warm, bright enough to make even an ordinary day feel alive. We had become close friends over time, comfortable enough to share late-night snacks, argue over movie choices, and drag each other out for spontaneous tea runs. But neither of us had ever crossed the line of admitting what we actually felt. Or maybe we didn't know ourselves. So when she walked into my apartment that evening, wearing that red dress she only used for important occasions, I knew she wasn't here for a casual conversation. She sat down slowly, fidgeting with her fingers, the same sign she always showed when she was nervous. Then she took a breath and dropped the sentence like a stone in a quiet lake, "I need a boyfriend to meet my parents this weekend." I stared at her, wondering if she was joking. But her eyes were serious. "Soft, but serious, you want me to pretend?" I finally asked. She nodded, swallowing hard. "They've been pressuring me for months. They want to meet the guy I'm supposedly dating, which I may or may not have invented during a weak moment." "So you lied," I said. "A tiny lie," she whispered. "But now they're expecting someone. And you're the only person I trust who won't make it weird." That's when I said it, "Not sleeping on the sofa, right?" Her eyes widened. "Why would you know? You'll get the guest room. What do you think my parents are?" I laughed, but inside, something felt different. There was a small tremor in her voice, a hint that this whole thing scared her more than she was letting on. The next 2 days rushed by in a blur. We practiced answers to possible questions, rehearsed how we met, and even argued about who made the first move. She insisted it was me. I insisted it was her. On the drive to her parents' house, she suddenly grew quiet. Her hands trembled slightly on the steering wheel. I reached over and covered her hand with mine. "Hey," I said softly. "I've got you. No matter what happens, we're in this together." She didn't speak for a moment, then whispered, "I'm scared my parents won't like you." I smiled. "Impossible. I'm extremely likable." She laughed, really laughed, and the tension melted. For the first time, I wondered if this pretend weekend would end exactly the way we expected, or if it would change everything. Her parents welcomed me warmly, far more warmly than either of us expected. Her mother kept smiling between us like she was studying a painting she had waited years to see. Her father asked normal questions, job, hobbies, future plans, and somehow, every answer I gave made him nod approvingly. But the moment that shocked both of us happened at dinner. Her mother leaned forward and said, almost casually, "How long have you two been in love?" Alina choked on her water. I froze. My heartbeat slammed against my chest. Her mother looked confused. "What?" I asked. "How long you've been in love?" "It's obvious, dear. The way you look at each other." Alina's cheeks turned bright red. I didn't know whether to laugh or run away. Later that night, alone in the guest room, I couldn't shake her mother's words. In love. Was it really that obvious? Was I that transparent? For the first time, I realized this pretend weekend wasn't pretending anything for me. The next morning, I found Alina sitting outside in the garden swing, hugging her knees, lost in thought. The sunlight fell on her face gently, making her look almost fragile. I sat beside her, and the swing wobbled slightly. "You okay?" I asked. She hesitated. I didn't expect my mom to say that. "You mean the in-love part?" She closed her eyes as if the words physically hit her. "Yes. That." I exhaled slowly. "Did it bother you?" The silence stretched so long I felt my chest tighten. Finally, she whispered, "No. It scared me because it didn't sound wrong." That single sentence stole my breath. The day continued with forced smiles and half-finished conversations. Every time our hands brushed accidentally, we both froze. Every time her parents asked another sweet, innocent question, We would exchange a look loaded with meanings neither of us dared to say aloud. By evening, her father called me out to the porch. He stood there with 2 cups of tea, offering me one. You care about her, he said. It wasn't a question. Just a statement, clear, calm, and certain. Yes, I said before I could stop myself. More than she knows. He sighed, looking at the garden. She has always been scared of choosing someone who might leave. She hides it well, but she fears disappointment more than anything. That hit me hard. I would never leave her, I said. He smiled gently. Then tell her. Don't let this weekend end without saying what matters. Later that night, after her parents went to sleep, I found Alina sitting in the living room, wrapped in a blanket, staring at the fireplace like she was searching for answers inside the flames. I sat beside her. Our shoulders touched, and neither of us moved away. Alina, I said softly, your dad talked to me. Her eyes widened with embarrassment. Oh no. What did he say? That I care about you. She opened her mouth, then closed it again, lost between fear and hope, and he was right, I continued. I care about you. More than a fake boyfriend should. More than a friend should. Her eyes glistened. Why didn't you say anything before? Because I didn't know if you felt anything back. She took my hand slowly. Deliberately. Her fingers intertwined with mine like they had always belonged there. I was scared, she whispered. Not of you, but of losing you if something went wrong. A tear slipped down her cheek. I wiped it gently, my hand trembling. You're not losing me, I said. Not today. Not after this weekend. Not ever. She leaned her forehead against mine, breath soft, voice trembling. Then don't let go. Not even when this pretend weekend ends. I won't, I whispered. By the time we returned home the next day, nothing felt pretend anymore. Her parents hugged us warmly, her mother whispering, take care of each other. And for the first time, those words truly meant something. In the car, halfway back to the city, she reached for my hand and held it tightly. You know, she said with a shy smile, you still aren't sleeping on the sofa. I laughed. Good. Because I plan to stay right where I belong, beside you. And just like that, one impulsive lie turned into the beginning of something real, something worth holding on to, something strong enough to change the rest of our lives.